Hello again. Welcome to class 698. All right, we're getting closer and closer to class 800. We're approaching class 800. Closer and closer. Yes, sir. All right, let's finish. Learn to speak up, page 163. Yo no puedo seguir el ritmo, eh? I can't keep up. Vas muy deprisa. You're going too fast. I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with you. Si no les alcanzas, ganarán la carrera. If you don't catch up with them, you'll lose the race. Well, they'll win the race. You'll lose the race. They'll win, you'll lose. They'll win, you'll win, you'll lose. They'll win. If you don't catch up with them, they'll win the race. I can't catch up with them. They're going too fast. I can't keep up. I'm falling behind. All right. Me caí al agua. I fell into the water. Yeah. Yes. I was walking, this is water inside. I was walking on the top of the, I fell into the water. Yeah, my sister pushed me into the swimming pool. This is better. My sister pushed me into the swimming pool. I was dressed. I wasn't wearing a swimming suit or a swimsuit or swimming trunks. Mil formas de decir, traje de baño. Yes, my swimsuit. And I wasn't wearing I was wearing normal street clothes, ropa de calle. And she pushed me into the swimming pool. Yeah, on purpose. It wasn't an accident. She pushed me on purpose. And I fell into the water. Los británicos, I fell into the water. I fell into the water. El niño se cayó del árbol. The little boy fell out of the tree. He fell out of the tree, como saliendo del ramaje, del frondoso ramaje. He fell out of the tree. Yeah, salió un chico de un árbol cayendo. Oh, he fell out of the tree. Porque he broke his arm. He fell out of the tree. Ella entró en una depresión. She fell into. Estamos con el verbo to fall. To fall behind. Don't fall behind. No te quedes atrás. Yes, don't fall behind. Me caí el agua. I fell into the water. El chico cayó del árbol. He fell out of the tree. Saliendo de las ramas. He fell out of the tree. Ella entró en una depresión. She fell into. ¿Cómo fall into the water? Fall into? Cutter. Yeah, you fall. You're walking. Oh, you fall into. Yeah, you fall into and you can fall into a depression. This cup is full of depression. Don't fall into it. You can fall into a depression. Yes, se puede decir caer en una depresión. To fall into a depression. And finally, no te apoyes en la mesa. Richard, don't lean on the table. Lean on. I'm leaning on the table. Apoyándome en la mesa. If I lean on the table too much, it'll come up. To lean on. Ahora, lean también es inclinarse. I'm leaning back. I'm sitting back. I'm leaning forward. I'm not leaning on the table. I'm leaning forward. Now I'm leaning forward and leaning on the table. Now I'm leaning to my left. Now I'm leaning to my right. To lean. And the Leaning Tower of Pisa. La Torre Inclinada de Pisa. If you visit, when you see photographs or pictures of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay, it's the famous Leaning Tower of Pisa. If you go to Pisa and you look at it, my God, that tower is leaning. Yes, it's quite impressive. Eh? It defies gravity. The impression is it defies gravity. Desafía la gravedad. It defies gravity. It's very interesting. It's a very nice complex, very pretty, all right? No te apoyes en la mesa. Don't lean on the table. Apóyate en mí, te ayudaré. Lean on me. Lean on me. Lean on me. All right, one of the new books, Gain Fluency. Remember, with this book, you read the instructions, okay? the instructions. And if you don't follow the instructions, this book is perhaps a waste of time. If you follow the instructions, this book will solve your problem completely of speaking, not understanding, speaking. All right, let's go to paragraph number 4. Paragraph number 4. Are you ready? Paragraph number 4. No. Paragraph number 4, no. Paragraph number 7, ya lo hice. Paragraph number 7. That isn't what I want. This isn't the kind of calendar I need. I told you I wanted a desk calendar like the old ones with 365 pages, one for each day. That's not what I want, or that isn't. That's not, that isn't. Both are correct. Both those formas de contracción. That's not, that isn't. Contrayendo sobre is not. That isn't what I want. No es lo que quiero. Me has traído algo que no he pedido. Te pedí. That isn't what I want. No, this isn't. Perdona. This. Yeah. Let's see. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I want. This isn't the kind of calendar I need. Marta me ha traído un calendario. Marta, this isn't what I want. This isn't the kind of calendar I need. I told you, pobrecita, pero te dije, I told you I wanted a desk calendar. De mesa de trabajo, desk. Table es una mesa normal. Desk es mesa de trabajo, escritorio. También es pupitre, desk. I told you I wanted a desk calendar like the old ones with 365 pages, one for each day. You know, these little desk calendars with 2 rings, dos anillas. And you can write things down. You can write things down for the day. And you go to a later date to write things down. You don't see these desk calendars anymore. Do you remember them? ¿Te acuerdas de esos calendarios? Yeah. They were very useful, very handy. Now people use their cell phones, right? Which is also good. It's very useful. But sometimes people forget to look at it. But the desk calendar is sitting in front of you, you see, and so you can't help but see it. You know, no puedes evitar verlo, no verlo. You see it. You can't help but see it. So that's what I want, Marta. I want a desk calendar. This isn't what I want. Yeah. This isn't the kind of calendar, do you think? This isn't the kind of calendar I need. I told you I wanted a desk calendar like the old ones, como los antiguos. I told you I wanted a desk calendar like the old ones. Yeah, with 365 pages. Yeah, one for each day, right? Okay, memorize this. This isn't what I want. This isn't the kind of calendar I need. I told you I wanted a desk calendar like the old ones with 365 pages, one for each day. It's easy to memorize that and then repeat it 10 times or 20 times or 60 times or 860,000 times. But repeat it again and again. Okay, paragraph number 8. I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months to pass the exam. I'm sorry you didn't pass it, but don't complain. Did you make the same effort I did? Okay, se trata de un examen. I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months. Okay? I studied for 5 hours a day. I studied, como dice, I studied over. Estudié más de 5 horas al día. I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months to pass the exam. Para aprobar el examen. I studied over 2 hours a day for 2 months. I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months to pass the exam. All right. Yes. I'm sorry you didn't pass it. I'm sorry you didn't pass it, but don't complain. No te quejes. Don't complain. Did you make the same effort I did? Did you make the same effort I did? Yeah, I made a strong effort. Yeah, I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months to pass the exam. Yes, I'm sorry you didn't pass it, but did you make the same effort I did? Don't complain. All right, don't cry. All right. To pass that exam, you need to make an effort. To pass any exam, you need to study, right? Did you study as much as I did? Did you make the same effort that I did? Probably not. I studied over 5 hours a day for 2 months to pass the exam. I'm sorry you didn't pass it, but don't complain. Did you make the same effort I did? También se puede, did you make the same effort I made? Pero para evitar redundancia, vamos al verbo auxiliar. Did you make an effort? Did you make the same effort I did? Did you make the same effort I did? Yes. Did you make the same effort? All right. And finally, paragraph number 9. She wants to know if she can interview you. She's preparing a thesis on language learning and thinks you're the best source of information. Can you see her sometime next week? This is a true story, by the way. In fact, tres veces, I think 3 times in my life, a student from the university has come to interview me because siempre era chica, she was preparing a thesis, la tesis doctoral, and she wanted to include my input and she wanted to interview me as part of her thesis for aprendizaje de idiomas o inglés. And I remember, I think 3 times. And I always say yes. Come on, decir no es ser muy ogro. I said, how do you say ogro in English? Ogre. Se escribe ogre. Soy muy ogre. I mean, to be an ogre. No. If they contact me and says, I'm preparing a thesis for the university in filología inglesa or whatever, English philology, and said, can I interview you? I said, of course. And usually we spend an hour or an hour and a half. So I give the person a lot of time. Time is very elastic. You have time for everything in life. Yeah. I remember one person in Punto Radio, que ya no existe, and he had a radio program 1 hour per week on the weekends. And he wrote to me, he said, and he was a young guy, maybe 25 years old, and he said, can I interview you on my radio show? And I said, yeah, sure, yes. And so I went, and he said on the radio, he said, I have Richard Vaughan here. It's incredible. I asked more than 30 different impresarios, 30 different company founders and owners, and he's the only one who said yes. Yeah. Always say yes, because it opens potential opportunities. If you say no, potential doors of opportunity never open in that direction. I mean, if you say no, you anulas, the possibility of unforeseen opportunities, oportunidades no previstas, que pueden surgir. If you say yes, an opportunity is very possible to appear, but you have to say yes. El sí de entrada, el no de entrada, no abre nada. She wants to know, ella quiere saber si puedes, si te puede entrevistar. She wants to know if she can interview. She wants to know if she wants to know if she can interview you. Interview me? Yeah. She's preparing a thesis, la tesis, tesis con TH, thesis. She's preparing a thesis on language learning, el aprendizaje de los idiomas. She's preparing a thesis on language learning, and thinks you're the best source of information. Wow, yo, la mejor fuente de información. Me? I'm the best source. Go right to the horse's mouth. Go right to the horse's mouth. Excuse me? ¿Qué tiene que ver los caballos con esto? Go right to the horse's mouth. Super corriente esa expresión. Vete directamente a la boca del caballo. Go right to the horse's mouth means ve a la fuente original de la información. La persona que sabe. Go right to the horse's mouth. You know? Oh, the current president of the government, Mr. Sanchez. I'm speaking to you in November 2022. The current president of the government, what is he going to do in the future? What are his plans for next year? Well, ask him. Ask him personally. Well, I don't know him personally. Well, I have a friend, you can go and you can talk. I have a friend who can take you to the Moncloa and you can speak to him. Don't worry, and he'll say yes. So go right to the source's mouth. Go right to the source's. Source, apostrophe S. Go right to the source's mouth. All right, so she wants to know if she can interview you. She's preparing a thesis on language learning and thinks you're the best source of information. Can you see her sometime next week? Que se la puedo ver en tiempos de sol, sometimes. Sometimes. Cerrando la M, la boca con la M. Sometimes. Can you see her sometime? ¿La puedes ver en algún momento de la semana próxima? Can you see her sometime? En singular. Sometime. Junto todo. Can you see her sometime next week? Can you see her sometime next week? She's preparing a thesis. She's preparing a thesis on language learning. All right. Gain fluency. Gain fluency. Ganar soltura. Es que sé mucho inglés, pero no me suelto. Easy solution. This book. But follow the instructions, all right? And you'll gain fluency. I guarantee you. Hay que decir miles y miles de frases en voz alta. Es en voz alta. The secret is aloud. The secret to fluency is to say things aloud. Anything. Hello, Manolo. How are you? Come in. Have a seat. Let's talk. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's a real pleasure to see you. What brings you here? ¿Qué te trae aquí? What brings you here? Is there a problem? Can I help you in any way? But you have to say it aloud. And try to intone, como buen actor, try to add intonation. Yeah, try to add intonation. I remember when I was learning Spanish, of course, when I was studying Spanish literature, I had to read a lot of poems and a lot of novels. And I remember Rubén Darío, Juventud, divino tesoro, ya te vas para no volver. Cuando quiero llorar, no lloro y a veces lloro sin querer. Okay, fine. Pero diciendo 1000 veces en voz alta. Bueno, 100 times, 1,000 I'm exaggerating, but maybe 100 times. La princesa está triste, ¿qué tendrá la princesa? Los suspiros se escapan de su boca de fresa. Okay, all right. Yes, the poor princess, she's so sad, en su silla de oro está mudo el teclado de su clave sonoro. En un vaso olvidada se desmaya una flor. All right. You know that poem? Se llama Sonatina by Rubén Darío. It's an incredible poem, incredible. Empalagosísimo. But very, very good poem. And for me, that's the best poem of this type in Spanish. This type of poem empalagoso. This is number 1. Yeah. Viene el príncipe azul, vencedor de la muerte para su. He's coming en su caballo alado. Viene el príncipe. All right. That's incredible. It's a real sonatina. Read it. I mean, you can find it. You go sonatina, and you have it here. La libélula vaga de una vaga ilusión. Usa redundancia a su favor. La libélula vaga de una vaga ilusión. O sea, la ilusión de uno muy vaga ilusión, lo compara con una libélula. All right? It's interesting. It's very, very good. Rubén Darío, for me, is the greatest poet in the Spanish language. Now, he's not my favorite. My favorite is Machado. But looking at it, trying to look at it objectively, I think Rubén Darío was just brilliant. Yes. Dichoso el árbol que es apenas sensitivo y más la piedra dura porque esa ya lo siente. All right. That's Rubén Darío. But saying these things aloud, diciendo las cosas en voz alta, te haces mejor con un dominio ágil verbal. No auditivo, repito, pero verbal. And that's this book. This book. They're not poems. I don't recommend poems, really. But everything helps for speaking. Okay, how much time do we have? Huh? How much time do we have? We have 5 minutes. All right. Let's go to the Biblia. Let's go to grammar. This is one of the new books. Oh, it's heavy, eh? Can you imagine? Yeah, how do you say como castigo? You know, you're holding books like this. All right. Yes. This has everything you need. Everything. Wow. But I'm not going to go page by page. I'm only going to go through the table of contents. Yeah, the contents. Pero se suele decir tabla de contenidos. Se dice tabla de table of contents. All right. So, I'm going to do personal pronouns. This is section number 4. Personal pronouns. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Oh, these are personal pronouns. All right. Personal pronouns. Okay. Direct object pronouns. Complementos directos e indirectos. Him, me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. Okay. Lo hago para ellos. I do it for them. Lo hago para nosotros. I do it for us. I do it for you. I do it for him. I do it for her. I do it for it. El perro. I do it for it. All right. I'm forgetting one. Yes. They do it for me. I'm forgetting for me. I do it for myself. I do it for myself. But that's reflexive pronouns. Que es la sección 6 aquí. Section 6. I mean, esto está lleno de chicha gramatical. Wow. De cabo a rabo. It's incredible, this book. It's incredible. Reflexive pronouns. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm looking at myself at the mirror. You're looking at yourself in the mirror. He's looking at himself in the mirror. She's looking at herself in the mirror. It's looking at itself in the mirror. Vosotros, you're looking at yourselves. V-E-S, la F cambia V. You're looking at yourselves in the mirror. We're looking at ourselves in the mirror. They're looking at themselves in the mirror. Yes, I'm talking to myself. You know, it's interesting now. These people wear these little headphones, these little auriculares, and they speak on the. Now, people are walking down the street, they're talking to somebody. Now I'm used to it. But I remember about 5 years ago, I said, excuse me? I thought they were talking to me. When I pass. You pass somebody? Yeah, I don't. And so, no. Now I'm used to it. I'm used to it. Todos muda. Ahora estoy acostumbrado. Now I'm used to it. Now I'm used to it. People talking. At first I thought people were talking to themselves. At first I thought the people were talking to themselves. Él está hablando a sí, se está hablando a sí mismo. He's talking to himself. She's talking to herself. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourselves. I'm talking to myself. We're talking to ourselves. They're talking to themselves. El perro que habla, it's talking to itself. All right. It's talking to itself. That's Reflexive pronouns and direct and indirect objects. Dámelo. Give it to me. Give it to her. Give it to him. Give it to us. Dánoslo. Dánoslo hoy, el pan de cada día. Give it to us. Give it. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to them. Okay, my friends. This covers many, many different examples. Yeah. Déjame que te dé un consejo. Let me give you some advice. Or let me give you a piece of advice. Literalmente un trozo de consejo. Because advice is uncountable. In English, you can't say un consejo. You can't say that. You can't say an advice. No, some advice. Dame algo de asesoramiento. Give me some advice. All right. And the only advice I can give you is it's time to go. I have to go, but study. Take care.